Welcome to the Ed Newsstand Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Reynolds. This is Season 4, Episode 21 of the podcast. The topic of this week's newsletter was born from a video I was going to incorporate in TikTok Tech. I found a video from @Adelaid Ed on TikTok, and she gave examples of how she uses digital interactive notebooks with her students. She also has several other videos that demonstrate an overview of her notebooks, how they make life easier for teachers and students, how to use them with your students, and why they are needed in today's classroom. I also found several other resources how educators use digital interactive notebooks with their students. We've got a lot to get to, so let's not waste any more time. Let's dive in. So this week's newsletter started out as a TikTok Tech with Adelaide Ed, and after I watched one of her videos and I was going to put it in as just TikTok Tech, I realized there's way more here to this one video and way more places that I can go with it than just simply showing one of her videos. So instead of just going over one quick bite-sized area of Adelaide Ed's TikTok and digital notebooks, I decided to just make this one whole newsletter. So I don't have a tech refresh. This is all just going to be one giant TikTok Tech with a lot of resources. And the resources this week are all about digital notebooks or interactive notebooks. So if you click on the first video here on the left-hand side that says Overview, it will give you an overview of her definition of digital notebooks or interactive notebooks, however, kind of very interchangeable. However, the first thing, before we dive into her videos and her blog post and some of the things that she talks about, I want to start this with a tweet that she actually has in her blog. The tweet comes from Tyler Rablin, or @Mr_Rablin on Twitter. And his tweet simply was, "Every added click is another opportunity for a student to get lost. Simplify, simplify, simplify." And he couldn't be more correct. I love this tweet. I think it's amazing, and honestly, this is how you should live your digital life. Just everything should be as simple as possible, the least amount of clicks as possible. This is absolutely the way to go. So let's dive into digital notebooks. And again, @Adelaide Ed on TikTok is where you can find all of these videos. If you click on the video in the newsletter, it will take you directly to that video on her TikTok page. And then I have just some little tidbits about these videos. But if you want to watch them in full, please click on the links and watch the videos in full, because there are a lot of them. And she has a lot more resources. So there are just tons of resources available here for you in the newsletter. So let's get started talking about digital notebooks. The whole reason that Adelaide makes interactive digital notebooks is because her students work asynchronously. So she wants to make learning more accessible. So if students are gone from her room, she wants to be able to have the resources available. If students aren't in the right headspace to learn, she wants to be able to have the students refer back to it later on. If she needs to differentiate the lesson, that stuff is available for her too. She uses it, not specifically, but she uses it kind of like a learning management system where she uses one slide per week with all of the resources on one slide. So you can certainly do that if that's the way that you want to come at it, or you can use it as many other different things for students. And we're going to get into some of those ideas here in just a minute. So if you watch her overview video, and then you can move on to how she believes that the digital notebooks make life easier. So first of all, Extra Help Notebook. You can create one of these for the students. She records herself working through the lesson as a student, and then when she is done with that video, then she inserts that video into the digital notebook. So it works alongside the information or the assignment that she is providing for students. This is great because you're not demonstrating the lesson for the students. You are actually demonstrating how the students will come at the lesson. So it's giving the students the information from their perspective, which is amazing. Next, she also uses it for weekly lessons. Again, records videos demonstrating each part of the lesson with graphics as links as resources. So she's got those recorded videos so students can refer back to it again if they're gone or they're not in the right headspace or they miss something or they need to refer back to it. All of this information is recorded and demonstrated right and then embedded right into the digital notebook. And finally, she also provides it as a choice board. So if the students do enough activities to achieve the desired points that she makes available within that slide or that digital notebook, then they have achieved the goal that she wants them to for the week. So a lot of different ways that she uses the digital notebooks to make her life a lot easier. Underneath the Make Life Easier video here, and just some of the ideas that we talked about, you can click on this link and you can watch some more videos and how she demonstrates all of the digital notebooks that she has available for students, the different templates that she has, and she talks a little bit more in depth about how she utilizes them and where she puts them, and how students can access them. The third video that I posted here from Adelaide is about how to use interactive notebooks. One, she just has a simple notebook with hyperlinks. So those go to resources that she's created or anywhere else that she wants to direct the students within the overall lesson. Another way she uses it is to deliver instruction and to model that instruction through her videos, and also provide links to her learning management system. Third, she provides links and videos as a student support with support materials or support videos that the students might need while working through the lesson. And finally, she uses the interactive notebook as a manipulative. So she's got activities that might be built into the interactive notebook that the students can then move around to do vocabulary matching, or maybe a math problem, work on science definitions, any different way that you can use your presentation software to create a manipulative. So if you're looking for ways to use it, you can watch this video here and work on using the digital notebook with students. The fourth and final video, which I think might be the most important in this whole newsletter, is why we need digital or interactive notebooks, especially in the last year and a half, 2 years, where we've been working with and teaching students in this post-pandemic world. The first way she says is why we need them is because we have pre-recorded video instruction. And if you haven't recorded a video for students, it is so easy. I'm currently using Loom. If you sign up as an educator, you get access to Loom for free. All of the perks of using Loom. It's amazing. You can record a video and just link out directly from your Loom library. It's wonderful. So that is one resource. You can use Screencastify, which is another amazing resource. It'll allow you to, the free version, record up to 5 minutes of video. You can edit the video in their editing software and link right out from your Google Drive library. Super easy. You can also record in Screencastify and download as a GIF, which is wonderful. Just so many resources, so many options, so many ways for you to record lessons. Next, you can provide links directly to assignments all in one spot. So you could have a pre-recorded video and then right underneath that video, a link to the assignment. Super easy to hyperlink out of your presentation software. Next, you can provide supplementary material. So not only can you provide a link to the video or embed the video that you want the students to watch, provide a link to the assignment, but then any other material that coincides with that assignment, you can also provide a link to that supplementary material. And finally, she says, and she stresses, this is not too much work, it's just different work. And the best thing about all of this is it might be a little bit more work up front, but on the back end, it's done, right? So this is for next year, it's done. If you want to tweak it, if you want to add some things, all of this here, it's already done for you. So yes, it might feel like it's more work, but again, it's not more work. It's just a different type of work, a different way to lesson plan, a different way to help and support students. If you're looking for some more resources that she has with regard to digital notebooks, I have some more for you. So underneath the overview video over here on the left, you can click on this and you can purchase her digital notebooks. If you like the digital notebooks that she demonstrates in her videos, the first link under the overview video right here is you can purchase her digital notebooks. Not very expensive, $18. A great price for the digital notebooks that she's providing. Next, there's a video underneath this will show you how to make money from your own digital notebooks. So if you want to watch that video and learn how she makes money and how you can make money creating your own digital notebooks, you can certainly watch that video. And then the final video here underneath overview, she'll talk to you about how long it will take you to build a digital notebook. If you want to start using digital notebooks, there are a lot of resources here from Adelaide Ed on TikTok that she has provided. Again, talking about digital notebooks, how they make life easier, how to use them with your students, why they're needed, and then there are specific links to purchasing her digital notebooks, how to make your own money, and then how to go about building the student digital notebooks. Now that I've touched on what I would say is the inspiration for this newsletter from Adelaide Ed on TikTok, I want to go over some more resources that I have found that will give you different perspectives and different ideas for using digital and interactive notebooks with your students. Up at the top, there is a blog post on how to create digital notebooks from Adelaide Ed. If you click on that, it will take you to her blog post from this past summer about how she created her own digital textbook. And if you click on through here, she'll has links to the TikToks that she created, and then she talks about what a digital textbook is, who can write a digital textbook, why she's doing this, and how she's using it while she's teaching in person, where she uses it, and why it will actually work as with any learning management system. So no matter what you're using, Google Classroom, Canvas, Seesaw, Schoology, all of these digital notebooks will work with all of these learning management systems. And then, how does it work? She has a YouTube video here on ways to use digital notebooks with students that you can also watch. So I highly encourage you, if you want a deeper dive into her philosophy, her ideas, her use of digital textbooks, this is definitely the blog post to go to. And again, you can find it right at the top of the newsletter, blog post to create digital notebook from Adelaide Ed. Let's get into some other resources here now. Edutopia has a great article on digital notebooks. If you click on the Edutopia logo here at the top of the newsletter, it will take you to the newsletter and you can find out how to get the benefits of using interactive and digital notebooks with your students. Teachers have been using spiral-bound interactive notebooks for a long time, and they've been very popular with teachers and useful for students. But this article gives you a different way to think about them. If you scroll down in the article, you will see there are 4 ways to get the benefits of interactive notebooks digitally. First one is you can ditch the clunky PowerPoints in favor of a table of contents that include left side and right side activities. So what they talk about is when the students create a document, they make a table of contents digital notebook so that it links directly to that assignment in their Google Drive. So it's easier to find. They don't have to find the folder or go into the Google Drive. They can always just have access to that interactive notebook and click the link and have them take it right to that document. The second idea they have is you can include any apps that your students regularly use as hyperlinks in your table of contents. So if they use Quizlet or Edpuzzle or ThingLink or Poplet or Padlet or any resource that you have students use, Canva, you can just create a hyperlink in your table of contents, and the students don't have to bookmark it. They don't have to remember where it is in their bookmarks. They don't have to save it as something in their read later. You just put it in the link in the table of contents and it takes them right there. Third, you can have students submit handwritten notes. So let's say they write out their notes on a notebook. You can have them take a picture of it and it will put it into their Google Drive and then link right back to those notes. Simple way for students to take notes by hand, but then find those resources later on. And then the last way that Edutopia has for their idea of using interactive notebooks is to encourage collaboration. You can read a little bit more on this because this goes a little bit more in depth about how students can trade their table of contents with one another to be able to access and collaborate on the resources that they've created for that class. The next resource I have goes to the All Saints Episcopal School, and it has just a ton of links to the digital notebook. So if you click on the computer screen at the top, it takes you out to their Google site, and here, journals and interactive notebooks. So they have a bunch of resources here for using digital journals to create interactive notebooks that allow students to do more and do it all online. They have links to how to make digital interactive notebooks, getting started with interactive notebooks, a guide to using them, digital writing journals, interactive notebooks in the social studies classroom, creating journals using Book Creator. So if you are in love with Book Creator, an easy way for you to create interactive notebooks using that website. If you scroll down a little bit farther, digital interactive notebooks with slides and how to get started, creating digital notebooks with Google Slides. Google Slides interactive notebooks, 20 activities to fill those notebooks. Scroll down even farther, there are templates, slide templates for any subject, interactive examples, and then even farther down, Pinterest board digital journals, and they have 4 different video links to Google Edition course, bringing the hype, creating digital notebooks, using Google Slides to create digital notebooks, and the digital interactive notebook and how to go paperless. So this website has a ton of resources that you can use, and it comes from All Saints Episcopal Schools. So go ahead and click on the computer in the notebook or in the newsletter, and it will take you right to this website. As always, if you are not following Ditch That Textbook, Matt Miller, on any social media platform or subscribing to his newsletter, definitely do it because he has a ton of resources. So if you click on the Ditch That Textbook image at the top of the newsletter, it will take you to his website and it will show you Google Slides, interactive notebooks, and 20 activities to fill them. If you scroll down, it will tell you why to use Google Slides for interactive notebooks. And again, Google Slides isn't the only thing that you have to use or can use. PowerPoint, Keynote, Canva, any way that you're creating presentations and can create hyperlinks and embed videos, you can use for interactive notebooks. You scroll down a little bit farther, there is a copy of an interactive notebook template that you can download on the site. He will also show you how to organize your digital interactive notebook. And then if you scroll down a little bit farther, he has the 20 interactive notebook activities. So image annotation, put an image in there and annotate that using some of the text box features, captioning, draggable manipulatives, which we talked about a little bit, a diorama, comic strips, which are wonderful, especially if you use Book Creator. The templates are built right into Book Creator. You can create lab reports, a series of pictures, and on and on and on. So head to Ditch That Textbook, click on the link in the newsletter. It will take you right to this article, and you can figure out what might work best for you on using digital notebooks in your classroom. If you love Kami as much as I do, here are ways that you can use Kami as your digital notebook. So next to Ditch That Textbook, click on the little Kami icon here and the notebook available for that. It will take you to their help center, and there is an article about how to use Kami as a digital notebook. If you scroll down, creating student notebooks in Kami, and it will walk you through the steps on how you can use the software to create that digital notebook. Again, you can create a front cover, add pages, because with Kami, as I've talked about in other newsletters and other videos, you can start from scratch with a blank page and add other pages as you go along with lines, with music, with graph paper. All of that stuff is available. You can even import other resources into Kami and change the layout of your book as well. You can share the links out from Kami, download, put in your learning management system. And as you scroll down through this article, creating digital Kami notebooks with pre-made notes. Again, there is some resources here about how to use the split and merge tool, how to export your file. And then there's a little video about how to split and merge. As you scroll down even farther, creating notes or activities that students can add into their digital Kami notebooks, resources for that, and walkthroughs about how to use Kami to build your digital notebook. All the way at the bottom of this help article, there are 4 parts on how to create student notebooks in Kami, creating student notes, sharing the notes and presenting, and a bonus video about students viewing, adding notes to their notebook. Go ahead and click on any of these videos and look at the resources available for using Kami to create digital notebooks. 2 other resources that I have available for digital notebooks. One comes from Dr. Catlin Tucker, and the article is Creating Digital Notebooks with Google Slides, a walkthrough with screenshots. If you click on this link to the article, it takes you right out to her website from 2019, and it will talk with you about how to create digital notebooks with Google Slides. And again, screenshots with all the walkthroughs that you need, how to change the layout of your page, how to set up text boxes, and it just goes on and on and on, and ways that you can then link your table of contents and have students just move around Google Slides through the interactive notebook. And the last resource I have comes from teachstudentsavvy.com, and she has a blog post about how to use digital interactive notebooks in Google Slides. If you click on that link, it takes you right to her website and the article, and if you scroll down, she has a lot of videos and tutorials about how to create and work with the digital notebook. So the first resource she has is how to use and edit the clickable tabs and table of contents, how to change backgrounds for each slide, how to use the timeline page and the grouping tool, and then she has a bunch of keyboard shortcuts available for Google Slides. A lot of resources here. All the way at the bottom, you can click on some other resources that she has for digital and interactive notebooks and templates. You can comment below and watch any of the videos that she has available. A great resource, a lot of wonderful tutorials about how to use digital and interactive notebooks in your classroom. And finally, if it's a little daunting to think about, I do not want to start from scratch and budgets are a little tight, that's okay. I have a great resource for that as well. If you've been here for a while, or follow me on any social media, we're going to the well again. Slides Mania has so many resources for you. Just go to Slides Mania and do a search. If you want just a quick way to get to the digital notebooks, if you click on the Slides Mania notebook up here, I did a search already for free digital notebooks in Google Slides and PowerPoint, and it will take you right to those interactive notebooks. So you can go ahead and you can look through, see if there's one that you like, There's a theme that works best for you. And if you like one, so let's just pick the My Index notebook, click on it. Then you can scroll down, you can read about it a little bit, you can preview it. Here, this one has a lot of index tabs. You can click on the arrow and look at each page in the notebook. A lot of great icons in here for you to work with as well. And then if you like it, you can either download it for PowerPoint or download it for Google Slides. If you do use Keynote, you can download the PowerPoint version and then import it into Keynote. If SlidesMania doesn't have a digital notebook template that you like, SlidesGo might be another option for you. SlidesGo is right next to SlidesMania right here. Click on this, it will take you out to the SlidesGo website. And here in SlidesGo website, I have already done a search for notebooks on their website. You can scroll down, find a notebook that you want to use. Let's just pick this one right here, European Day of the Prevention. So here you can page through and see if you like this template to use. And then if you do, you can download it in Google Slides or download it in PowerPoint. A lot of great resources here on SlidesMania and SlidesGo for pre-made digital notebooks. You just have to put the information into that notebook. I went through a lot of information fairly quickly, but the information is here for you to find what works best for you. If you're new to working and creating interactive stuff within Google Slides or PowerPoint, these resources here to introduce you on how to actually make things interactive and create a table of contents, you might want to start with some of the last resources I provided. If you already kind of know and are a power user with PowerPoint or Google Slides, maybe you just want to jump in and start watching at Adelaide Ed's videos and jumpstart some ideas. Read over Edutopia, look at Ditch That Textbook, and then start moving forward. So there are a lot of places and a lot of resources here, whether you are a beginner or whether you are super advanced, working in any of these presentation tools. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you're able to find some resources that are available. And I have to tell you, when I started making this, I got pretty excited because there's a lot out there on creating digital notebooks for your students. And I couldn't agree more than why it's needed in this post-pandemic world that we are currently working with students in. That's it for this episode of the Ed Newsstand Podcast. I really appreciate you listening to the podcast or watching the video version on YouTube because I know your time is valuable. Please check out the resources on creating and using digital notebooks in your classroom. A huge thank you to @Adelaide Ed for posting her TikTok that jump-started the idea to curate these resources. Also, thank you to the resources from Edutopia, All Saints Episcopal Schools, Matt Miller from Ditch That Textbook, Cami, Dr. Catlin Tucker, Susie from TeachStudentSavvy.com, SlidesMania, and SlidesGo. For more EdTech resources, you can follow me on social media. You'll find me on Twitter @ReynoldsTroy, on Instagram, and TikTok @EdNewsstand. If you're listening on any podcast platform and would like to hear more, please like and subscribe to receive updates and have any new episode automatically downloaded for you. You can also revisit my previous episodes on any major podcasting platform like Spotify, Anchor.fm, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or Google Podcasts. You can also check out the video version of my podcast over on my YouTube channel and check out any of the other video resources I have available. If you'd like to download my app to have my podcast and newsletters right on your smart device, please check it out at ednewsstand.glideapp.io and save it to your home screen. If you don't want the app but would like to check out my resources, please visit my website at ednewsstand.weebly.com. This is Troy Reynolds, and this is the Ed Newsstand Podcast, hoping you were able to take away at least one idea for your classroom. Please be safe. Until next time.